Last week, I served at a mission school in the Dominican Republic with my mom and my sister. The school was started 9 years ago by Dr. Silvia and her husband Samuel, who noticed the needs of the children wandering the dump while their parents searched for anything of value that they could resell to provide food for their families. Silvia started bringing toys in for the children and examining their health. Her love for the children in the community grew, so she started investing time and money to provide food and water for them, but most importantly, she loved them and told them about the love of Jesus. She soon rented a small one-room house and hired her teacher friend to teach classes and feed the children to give them an alternative to searching in the dump. She started with kindergarten. Each year, she added a grade or two. Today, with the help of Keystone Community Church, it is a functioning preschool through 9th grade with over 300 kids. She feeds them all breakfast and gives lunch to the most needy kids. She provides a safe, loving area where the kids can play all afternoon when not in school, so they are not roaming the streets or scavenging in the dump. Our 20-person team from Keystone Community Church stayed at a hostel in Cacique, which was only a few minutes away from the school. Our room was very small for the 8 people who were staying in it. The shower and sink had no hot water, and you can't let any of the water get in your mouth because it can be very harmful for you and give you diseases and parasites. That means that when you brush your teeth, you can't stick your toothbrush under the water, and you can only drink from bottled water the whole time you're down there. Every day we went to the school, we started off by washing the dirty hands of the preschoolers through 2nd graders. They all stood in the nutritional center behind large buckets of water, which is what they call their sink. Those at the front of the line would rub a bar of soap in their hands. Then we would take a small cup and dump water over their hands to wash the soap off until they were all clean. Another team member dried them off with a thin towel. When they had all washed their hands and were seated, we served them their breakfast, which is usually soggy oatmeal, but they do have fish once per week. After they ate, we shared a Bible lesson that helped them with the craft. We repeated this process with the 3rd through 5th grade and 6th through 9th grade groups. In between feeding and teaching Bible lessons, we played with the kids who hung on us and dragged us everywhere by the hand, shirt, and legs. We also found time to paint the new preschool building blue and construct a wooden fence and gate around the building for the preschoolers to play in. The country requires that all schools have a different building for the preschoolers to separate them from the high schoolers and middle schoolers. So a team that went down prior to our visit built a building out of concrete blocks to be the new preschool. We also rebuilt a drywall pit that my brother Timothy built on one of his trips to the school 2 years ago. The kids were very excited about this and they played on it almost all day. My mom has been working at this school for 5 years and has watched this community change dramatically. The first year she went, there was only the nutritional center in the school, which was still only 1 story. The kids were very rough and often threw rocks, fought, and were really nasty to one another. That was before they had clean water to drink, 2 meals every day, and before they were taught about the love of Jesus. When my mom took out a jump rope to play with, a boy stole it and ran out of the school grounds. Toys and balls disappeared as fast as they were taken out of the bag and fought over because no one wanted to share anything. Over time, she said that the culture has changed from a culture of violence to a culture of love. This trip, she played jump rope with the girls and let them jump on their own. A half hour later, the rope was happily returned to her. After using our crayons for a craft, all the crayons were returned, and when a girl threw a ball that hit a boy, she stopped to check if he was hurt before she continued playing ball. So much has changed because Jesus has changed their hearts. We also had a little time to relax and play at the beach. We checked into a hotel and were instantly thankful for air conditioning, queen-size beds, and hot running water. We took a trip out to Sauna Island, which was very relaxing. We sailed on a catamaran boat, which had a large net that we lit on for the duration of the ride, and water splashed up on us from the beautiful blue Caribbean Sea. It was very beautiful on the island. We swam in the sea for a few hours, then we took a speedboat out to a sandbar and snorkeled for another hour looking for starfish. When we finally arrived back at the hotel, it was such a relief to take a hot shower and sleep in a cozy bed with a comfortable mattress. On Sunday, we went to church at the school. Every Sunday, they set up chairs in the nutritional center, and about 50 people from the community, including many students and their families, come to worship Dominican style. The music was happy and spirit-filled, and it was led by Dr. Silvia's 2 daughters and their youth group, who played the drums, guitar, piano, and sang. The Dominicans worship God by singing, dancing, and praying. The songs were unbearably loud, but the energy from the dancing, singing, praising, and worshiping God was outstanding. Church here in Michigan is so much different than the church in the DR. Here, we are all afraid to worship God by dancing or singing too loudly in church, probably from fear of being judged. But the Dominicans are not afraid to let everyone know how much they love God and are thankful for Him. In the U.S., we take everything for granted. Hot water, clean water, running water, air conditioning, homes to live in, food to eat, shoes to wear, people who love us, and the contentment of knowing you're safe at night. But in the Dominican Republic, they realize that everything and everyone around them is a gift from God. They're all so connected to God. Whenever Silvia needs something for the school, she prays to God for it, and He always finds a way to provide it to her. As we were playing with the kids at the school, a 6th grader came up to my mom, pointed to the clouds, and said, "Cielo," or heavens, and suddenly broke out in a song of praise, essentially telling us how great and powerful God is. He wasn't afraid to praise God at all. While I was in the Dominican Republic, I learned that we should not be afraid to worship God and praise God in front of others in church or anywhere we go. In fact, we should praise God everywhere we go. One difference I noticed between the Dominicans and Americans is that the Dominicans are much more focused on who they are with than what they have. They know that relationships are more important than things. While I was at church, a girl from the school named Johanna, who had hung on my arm all week, came and sat next to me the whole duration of the sermon and would not leave my side afterwards. She only wanted to be near me. Dominican children also have so much more responsibility for their siblings than we do here. While we were walking through the village, a 5-year-old girl, who was carrying her 2-year-old brother, joined us. She asked my mom to carry her brother so she could walk along with us. She had to take care of her brother all day, every day, because her parents are working. Her parents did not know who she was with or what she was doing, but trusted that she would take care of her brother. We would never do this in America. I am so thankful I had the opportunity to take this trip and serve the children at the school in the Dominican Republic. I learned that we should not take anything for granted, and we should not be afraid to thank God for all He has done for us. I would enjoy going back to the Dominican Republic again to serve the children, and I hope I can serve the people in Grand Rapids too. It has brought me so much joy that I encourage you to do the same.